What is SCD type 1?
There is no data, we can insert the data. If there is
Yes,
data,
yes, it is an upsert. So upsert is nothing but update and then insert, right? So what you're doing here, in case of match with the target, update. In case of no match,
insert.
in case of no match with the target, we will insert. So this is what type 1, correct?
Yeah.
This is what type 1. So what is type 2? SCD type 2. What is type 2? There are 3 things. One is pure insert, right? One is pure insert. Okay. And then next one, expire the record. Okay. Expire the record. And then third one, update, right? Update, insert, update, insert. So which one will happen at what time? So here, when we will go for this, when you call it as a pure insert,
when there is no data, we just insert.
Yeah, so it is same as this one. Okay. In case of no match with the target, insert. In case of a match, expire the existing record in target. Right? In case of a match, again, in case of a match,
there is
insert the
change in data.
Yeah, insert the record into target. Okay. Normally, when we will see whenever the data is available, we'll see if there is a change. Okay. If there is a change, then only we will go ahead and expire it and we'll go ahead and reinsert the record. So this is about type 1 and type 2. So this is absurd. And what is type 2? What is the name of type 2? What will call this as? Row level history, because we are maintaining row level history, right? For all the columns, history is maintained, because in case of any change in one of the column, we are going ahead and inserting the new record, right? So that means for all the columns, we are maintaining the history. So this is row level history. So what is SCD type 3? This we call it as column level history. Column level history. Okay. This we call it as column level history, because only for few columns we will maintain the history. How we will do here? How we will check here? Okay. For example, let's assume we have this data. Okay. Let's assume we have this data. Now, for a show is a software install. So in target also, what we will have? We will have employee ID, employee name, salary. Okay. Employee name and salary. Here, what you will have again? One more thing here, we are saying like we will be maintaining the history at the column level. So column level means only for few columns we will maintain a history. It can be employee name, or it can be email address, or it can be designation, anything. Okay. Or you can maintain for 2 to 3 columns as well. In today's example, let's learn about SCD type 3 for designation. So whenever there is any change in the designation, we have to push it to previous designation. And then we have to keep the existing updated designation here. Okay, we have to keep the updated designation here. Clear? You got it here? So we are having employee ID, employee name, email address. Designation is current designation, whatever the latest designation, salary, and if there is any change in the designation, that designation will come here, and whatever the previous designation is there, that will go here. Okay.
Okay.
So for example, yeah, tell me.
If the email address is changed, we have another previous email address like that, right?
If we want, we can keep it. But as of now, let's go ahead and maintain it for only one column. Okay.
Okay.
If you want to
designation is software engineer. So the updated one become like senior software engineer. So under designation, we should give senior software engineer, and previous we should give software engineer. Is
Correct.
that so?
Yes, correct. That's how it is. So here in our example, we are trying to maintain a history for only one column, not for all the columns. Okay. If we want, if there is any requirement to maintain it for other columns also, we can maintain it. So what you need to do, if you want to maintain a history for this column, again, you have to add previous email address. And if you want to maintain a history for this, you have to add previous employee name. So how many columns history you want, those many number of extra columns you want to add. Okay, you got it? So as of now, we want to maintain it for designation only. So we have added only previous designation. Now, if you want to add for email address, then it will go and add. You have to go and add previous email address. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we have employee Ashok record is there. Okay. So is there? Do we have this data in the target?
No.
No. So what we will do? We'll go
Pure
ahead and then insert it. And what we will have in this?
previous
No.
designation.
Because this is for the first time it is coming, right? So there is no previous designation because this is the first whenever the record is getting inserted into this table, we are having this designation only. So he is not there with other designation in our organization. He started with software engineer only. Yes, Samata. Any doubt?
No.
Okay. Now let's insert one more record. Okay. I think we have one more record for let's take this. Okay. Let's take this and then add it here. Okay. Add it here. For Samatha, let's consider we are getting the data as an intern and the salary is 20,000. Okay. Now, when you are getting this data, what will happen? Now we have one Ashok is there. And is there any change in the designation?
No.
No. Is there any change in other columns?
Yeah. No.
So if there is any change in other columns, what you need to do? For example, Ashok is coming as Ashok Nandyal, for example. Okay. Let's consider we are getting data like this in the next run. Our first run is completed. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, second run, employee ID 1 is there. And is there any change in any of the columns?
In the employee name.
Only change in the employee name. Is there any change in other columns? No. If there is a change in software engineer, then we have to move this to here and we have to consume the latest one here. But as there is a change in this one only, so we will go ahead and update employee name. Clear?
Yeah.
So we are updating the existing record only because we are not trying to keep the history for this particular column. We want the history for only designation column, but in designation, there is no change. Okay. Clear?
Yeah.
Now for 2, do we have the second record here?
No.
No. So what it will do? It will go and insert this record. And what will be there in the previous designation? Will be null. Okay. Now let's assume 3 is there. Okay. Previous Harika is coming. And her designation is unleased. Okay. And then 22,000. Okay. Now he changed to senior software engineer and salary changed to 30,000. Okay. Now she changed to software engineer. Okay. And salary changed to 25,000. Okay. Now let's go ahead and see what will happen. Now we'll get the first record. Is employee ID 1 is there in the target?
Yeah.
Okay. What are the changes that you see in employee ID 1?
Designation.
Designation change is there. Apart from designation, is there any other change?
Salary. Salary be updated.
Okay. So salary also changed. So what you will do now?
Salary be updated.
Salary
And
we will update it to 30,000 here, right?
Designation senior software engineer.
Okay. So let me do one thing. This is run 1. Okay. This is how you have the data, right? And then so that we can see the differentiation, how it is coming. Okay. This is run 1. This is second run. Now in third run, what will happen? You will have this record. Okay. This record will come, right? Record will come and stored. And in previous designation, what you will have? Software engineer. It will come here. Correct? It will come here. Now for 2, is there any change?
Yeah.
There is only change in the
Designation.
Okay. Now this record will come. You'll load the data into target. And what is the previous designation for her?
Intern.
Here, if you see, intern. Okay. Now for 3, do we have 3 record here? No. So it will come and insert here. Okay. Intern. And this is null. Clear?
So it also stores the previous history, or just like
Which one?
SCD Type 3.
SCD Type 3 will store a history, but it is storing the history only at the column level, not the entire record. All right. For example, there is a change in salary. Are you tracking change in salary here? Anywhere? You're not tracking it, right?
Yeah.
So it will track only for designated columns, not for all the columns. Whereas SCD Type 2, it will track the history at the row level. Clear?
Yeah.
Now let's go and do it for run 4. So what will happen now? Now senior software engineer became team lead. Okay. And his designation became 40,000. This is the only change. And let's consider she changed to software engineer. Okay, software engineer. And then it is 25,000. So what will happen now in the run 4? Is there any change to first record?
Yeah, designation.
Designation is changed. So what will happen? It will come here. You will load the data. Okay, you will load the data into target. What is his previous designation? You have to go to the last senior software engineer, and it will come here. Okay, senior software engineer, it will come here. And now, is there any change to 2? Is there any change to second record?
No.
No. So what will happen? It will just stay as it is. You don't update it. Is there any change to 3?
Yeah.
There is a change. Designation is changed. So what will happen? Its previous designation and a list. So it will come here. Correct?
Yeah.
So what did you understand here? If you see, yeah, tell me, Samantha.
I'm asking for each change. Should we create a different table and different run for that?
No, not a different table. I just want to show you how the data will be differentiated here. That's it. Okay. So first run, this is how the data is there. Second run, this is how the data will become. Okay. It's not like you are creating new table, because if I update it here only, you will not be able to understand how it is there in the first run, right?
Yeah.
Whenever you are referring to the recording as well, you will not understand, okay, this is how the data there in my first run. This is how the data became in my second run, right? Just to give you clear understanding, I create this run 1, run 2, run 3. Okay. But yeah, at the end of the runs, you will have this data in your target. You will lose all this data, right? Because you are doing updates on the same data.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you see, for Ashok, what happened first is a software engineer, right? And then senior software engineer, and then team lead. But up to which level you hold the history here? You are able to understand only till senior software. But before this, what is his designation? Can you get it? You can't get it, right? Because you're not storing that data. So if you have to keep the data, again, what you need to do? You have to add one more column, previous to designation. If you want to 3-level history, previous three
Previous.
designation. Okay, you got it. So again, in SCD type 3, it is column level history and how many levels of history you want, whether it should be only till previous or 1 level history, 2 level history, 3 level history. So if you want 3 level history, you need to add 3 previous designations. Okay, previous designation 1, previous designation 2, previous designation 3. In the same way for other columns also, if you want to add anything like that, you have to do in that way. Got it? Otherwise, if you are just adding previous designations, you will be tracking the history till level 1 only. Okay, clear? So if you see, that's the reason for Ashok, we are able to identify what is his previous designation. But before that, whatever is the designation, you will not be able to identify. Clear? Got it? This is one of the rarely used SCD type. Okay, mostly you will go ahead and use SCD type 1 and type 2. Okay, type 3 is the rarely used data warehouse concept. Okay, clear?
Yeah.
Any doubts?